that, one more word about tefillah. One more word about tefillah. It says in this week's parsha, this again, a little bit of chazara, an idea that we speak about so many times, but as much as we speak about it, we should keep on speaking about it. V'niskadashti, nope, incorrect. V'nikdashti b'toich b'nei Yisrael. Says the Gemara in Megillah, a famous Gemara, called Davar Shebekadusha, any matter of holiness cannot be less than 10 people. As the pasuk says, V'nikdashti, and I will be sanctified, b'toich b'nei Yisrael. And the Gemara continues. From here is where we learn out that Tefillah b'tzibur is with 10 people, and Tefillah b'tzibur has this maila, has this incredible advantage of Kedusha. Before I read a few words, let's start. A few words of the Heilige Zohar HaKadosh. The Zohar HaKadosh is being transcribed by one of the Talmidim of the Vilna Gaon in a sefer called the Rosh Hagiva, and I'm reading it from Rav Shimshon Pinchas, the sefer over here. Says the Zohar HaKadosh as follows. And again, we have to try to listen on a lofty level and then hopefully apply it a little bit as much as we can. Says the Zohar, Tfilas Yachid, what happens when you daven on your own? You don't daven with a minion, whatever which reason. Einoi ela gavan echad, it's one color. Ve'einoi mitukenes, and it's not fixed, lehitgabel, to be accepted, kitfilas tzibur. It's lacking in color. It's a black and white movie. Ki ha-malach sandalofoin, don't know who he is, he's a malach, hamamuna al tfilas Yisrael. There's a malach that's appointed on our tfilas. Roikam v'oisa atara, you know what he does? He creates a crown, mishlal tzavaim, from all the different colors, l'chayo elamim keser kavod, a crowd of kavod from the tefillos of Klal Yisrael for our Kadosh Baruch Hu. And that's why when you have a tefillah b'tzibur, what do you have? You have many people with different colors, and they come together in this beautiful crown, ateres l'chayo elamim. Whereas when you're by yourself, what does it look like? It's one little tuch. That's not much of a crown. And he continues and he explains that when you daven on your own, sometimes you're in a bad mood. It's like a black string. Sometimes you're in a good mood. It's like a different color string. Sometimes you're davening from a place of Torah, a place of Tefilah, a place of Simcha, and slowly it gets a little more color and color and color. But when you daven with the tzibur, what happens? Everyone's different colors come together. And that's the reason we know Ketairis famously is an entity that has to include something that doesn't smell good, which is the tefillah of the not such good person. The reason that the Gemara increases teaches us a tainus that doesn't have Poishe Yisrael. If there's no sinners in your tainus, it's not a tainus. But what do I need sinners? Because when I have everyone together, that creates Klal Yisrael. That's the mile of a minion. What we always talk about over here is not only the mile of a minion, but the mile of a minion and a Beis HaKnesses. And then there's the mile of a minion and a Beis HaMedrash is the highest level. And of course, we're sitting in a room, a garage, which is a Beis HaKnesses and a Beis HaMedrash. Beis HaMedrash means you learn there. So now you take the milah of what would it be if I just come and I daven myself one day? It is. It's beautiful, you daven. Let's not take it away from anyone. But that tefillah, we don't really know how beautiful that crown looks. But when you're sitting together with a tzibur, and then you're sitting in a shul, and then you're sitting in a Beis HaMedrash, that's a crown. That's amazing. And I heard last night from the Mashgiach Rabbi Stark the following incredible idea about tefillah. It's a little bit of a deep idea. It's a little bit of, shall we say, didn't like it. Froze when I coughed. It's a little bit of could be an emotional idea, but listen, if he said it in public, I certainly could repeat it. He said that sometimes we have, let's start the other way. He said that, what is tefillah? What's tefillah? It's such a basic idea. Tefillah is a conversation with Hashem. Tefillah is not merely the words that we say, because sometimes we feel, I'm just saying a bunch of words, and where are they going to go? But if we were to realize the depth of those words, we were to realize that I'm talking to God. I'm not just saying words. And yes, you could talk in English also. Shema Kelenu, Al Kain Nitzar, you could stop. And you could talk to Hashem. And what he was bringing out, and the truth is, I shouldn't blame this on him, because this is what I took away from what he said. So let's not blame it on him. I'll take it on myself on this one. This was what I walked away thinking after his incredible shmooze. Was sometimes we understand that we want a relationship with Hashem. And we really do. And we're craving that closeness. And we want to talk to Hashem. And we want to come close to Hashem. So what do? Unfortunately, we're a little bit juvenile in our relationship with God. So what we do is, we say, you know what? I'm going to talk to Hashem. And that is super duper amazing. You stop, you pull over on the side of the road, there's no one there, and you talk to God. And the truth is, that is beautiful beyond, and I'm not belittling it. But can you imagine the difference if you took that conversation you just had with the Bayrei Olam, a conversation, you spoke it out. And as we've said many times here, are you allowed to tell Hashem you're upset with him? 100%. If Yitzhak Berkowitz gave a shmooze recently and he said, someone called him up and said, I'm very upset with Hashem. I'm having this issue and that issue. He said, why are you telling me? Tell God. I should talk to Hashem that way. He said, you ever open up a Tehillim? You ever see how David HaMelech talks to Hashem? Sometimes he's singing praises. Sometimes he's screaming and yelling. I'm running. I'm being attacked. Where are you? Hashem, where are... How do you talk to God that way? The answer is, he's our loving Father. And he wants us to cry out. He wants us to call to him. So the truth is, when one stops and one realizes, wow, Hashem, thank you. That's beautiful. But can you imagine if you did that same conversation with God in a minyan, in a shul, in a beis medrash? The conversation is beautiful. You're connecting at the highest of levels, and you're standing in Shemoneh Esrei. Where's Shemoneh Esrei? The Kodesh HaKadoshim. When you take the 3 steps, you're walking into the Holy of Holies. And it says, Hashem descends, and he's right in front of us, and we could depict this massive ear that we're talking directly to God. So imagine, and you're in a minyan. We just heard, what's the minyan? It's all the different colors being combined on this crown of God. And you're in a shul, which elevates it even higher. And then you're in a beis medrash, which elevates it even higher. And in that incredible high place, you know what you do? You turn to Hashem and you start Shemoneh Esrei and you say the brachos and you pause and you realize, what does it mean that Hashem is Raifei Chol Basar? What does it mean, a bracha of Rifeinu? And you stop and you say, Hashem, I have a sibling, I have a relative, I have someone that's deathly or just needs a refuah. Hashem, you're the Raifei Chol Basar, you're able to do it. And we continue and we get to Baruch Aleinu and we pause. Say, Hashem, Parnasa. I can't do it anymore. God, I can't do it. The cost of this is so high, and the cost of that is so high, and my parnasa is just like this, and my wife, and my kids, and the this. Hashem, please. And you know what might actually happen? You'll realize you could actually get emotional when you talk to Hashem. Right? Stark said, he tells Bachram all the time, you could get emotional. I said, Rabbi, I'm not emotional. He says, really? Yesterday, when you were in my office telling me all your problems, you were tearing up. What happened? Because you were talking to a person. So let's start talking to Hashem in the same way. And you continue. And now you're in Shema Koleinu. And you pause in the middle and you realize, Hashem, there's a big interview coming up. There's a big presentation coming up. There's a big test coming up. There's a big fundraiser coming up. My child's having this issue. My wife's having that problem. I'm having this issue. I don't get along with that guy. And we pause and we talk it out. Hashem, you could help me. You could make the difference. You could do it. God, where are you? I need you. I don't feel you. That same conversation you could have had in your car, which was so beautiful, was just catapulted light years. Because v'nikdashti b'toich b'nei Yisrael. Because now the tefillah began on a crown. The tefillah began from a minyan. The tefillah began from a shul. Tefillah began from a beis hamedrash. So now your conversation with Hashem is so much more meaningful. And maybe, just maybe, we're all the time wondering, we daven. We say, tell him, where are my answers? What happened? I thought God could do anything. Why is he not answering me? I'm talking to him and I'm meaningful and I'm this. I don't know. Maybe we're missing the aleph base. And what do you mean? We know the power of thank you Hashem, and we spoke about it so many times as how Haidah is the height of it all. It's true. But maybe what we're missing is the vehicle to take it and bring it up. Because when we daven on our own, says Rav Shimon Schwab in Rav Schwab in prayer, when we daven on our own, you know what happens? The prayer tries to ascend. But you know where the prayer goes? It starts hitting into things on the way to heaven. What's it hitting? It's hitting all our averos and all our bad thoughts. And it just can't go anywhere. It says with Schwab, when you do psuke de zimra, the word zemer means to prune. You know what you're pruning? You know what you're cutting? You're cutting a path up to heaven for your prayer. So maybe we miss psuke de zimra. And you know what happens? We're davening by ourselves. So says Ramesha Feinstein, and this is the same real Gemara, that when you daven on your own, your tefillah doesn't ascend anywhere if there's no kavanah. So then you come into a minyan, and then you say, wait, well, maybe you weren't in a shul. It was a beautiful minyan. It was great that you gathered together 10 people. But maybe the extra schar, the extra push that you needed to walk to the shul, maybe that's going to make your tefillah get higher. And maybe the fact that it's in a base medrash. And if at that level we then realize and we talk and we sing, and then we could add on. We realize that certain parts of davening we're not allowed to talk at. We realize certain parts of davening we have to do this at. Then our tefillah will get higher and higher. B'siyata d'shmaya, again, ideas we've spoken about so many times. The mile of a shul, we could end off, and now we're building a shul. Now you can understand the importance of a Beis HaKnesses. Now you can understand why the Shach writes that stuck with a Beis HaKnesses is of the paramount importance, higher than Kimat all other things. Why? Because that's what's going to take our tefillos and bring them higher and higher and higher. And we'll conclude with the line from Rav Shimshon Pincus in Sharm B'Tefillah. He says, there's one thing that you're going to do every single day of your life. Only one thing. It's not Torah. There are days you might not be able to learn. Days it might be forbidden to learn. It's not chesed. It's tefillah. Because every single day that we are living, that we are alive, we're going to wake up and we're going to talk to our Creator. We're going to talk to Hashem. B'siyata d'shmaya, we should be zoicha to realize the critical importance of number one, davening with the minyan. Of number two, davening in a Beis HaKnesses. Number three, davening in a Beis HaMedrash. And then inject the conversation. Talk. Let's begin by talking to God a little bit more each and every day. B'siyata d'shmaya, we should be zeicha l'kach.